It's a great morning to be here, and some great things are going on in Lincoln. Small but important pieces of our community life. And I wanted to be here today, especially for this portion of it that has to do with the kids here and what we're announcing with regard to their efforts today. We have three topics altogether. We're going to talk a little bit about the annual Streets Alive celebration. And we have some folks with us today relating to that. And I want to thank those folks for also bringing, I think, some water and something to eat. What'd they bring? Fruit. All right. I'm just checking you out. I didn't want any candy bars here or anything. And we will also, in addition to the Pollinator discussion and the Streets Alive discussion, give you some information on July Jam, which, as you all know, is our annual celebration of the 4th of July here in Lincoln, which is again taking place at Oak Lake Park. But first, let's talk about what all these kids are up here for today. I want to say welcome to the Summer Day. Is that what you call it? Summer Day campers? Yeah. All right. And they're from Calvert and Irving Recreation Centers. They're here today specifically to plant milkweed, which is the plant needed by pollinators, most specifically the monarch butterflies. This is National Pollinator Week, and this area is one of the many pollinator habitats in our beautiful city right here in this little park. Greenways like this one create corridors for wildlife, including pollinators, to move within our community. This area of Antelope Park has recently been renovated. We're here next to a statue that's been restored. It's the statue of the Pioneer Woman sculpture by Ellis Lewis Berman. It was funded by the Women's Club of Lincoln and the Lincoln Parks Foundation. The landscape improvements were funded in part by the Nebraska Statewide Arboretum. The area is being restored to its original concept, which was that of a sensory garden with over 1,000 plants, including native plants that support pollinators. We're hearing more and more about the importance of pollinators like birds and bees and butterflies and other insects in our environment. To bring more attention to this important issue, today I'm issuing a proclamation for National Pollinators Week to make citizens more aware of what is being done in this regard. Here are some of the key points. Pollinator species provide significant environmental benefits that are necessary for maintaining healthy, biodiverse ecosystems. Pollinator species such as bees and butterflies, again, bats and birds, are essential partners of farmers, actually, and ranchers, too, in producing much of our food supply. Pollination plays a vital role in the health of our national forests as well, and our national grasslands. Parks and Recreation manages over 7,000 park acres in our city, and half of that is managed as greenway, providing habitat for wildlife, including the pollinators. And finally, it's important to promote wise conservation stewardship, including the protection and maintenance of pollinators and their habitats. So in sum, we are proclaiming the week of June 19th through 25th, 2017 as Pollinator Week, and we're encouraging all our citizens to learn more about the important role of pollinators and to learn how they can make their own individual landscapes pollinator friendly. So with that, I'm going to ask Lynn Johnson, our Parks and Recreation Director, to come up. He has a few more comments, and then we have part 3 of the program, which is going to be the most fun.
We do.
All right.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. Welcome to Lincoln's historic Antelope Park. The location of today's press conference is fitting as we stand next to the Pioneer Woman, surrounded by more than 40 different types of pollinator-friendly plants. The Pioneer Woman is one of several sculptures, as the mayor said, that was produced by artist Ellis Lewis Berman in Nebraska between 1932 and 1937. 4 of those were originally installed in Lincoln, and 3 remain today, including the Pioneer Woman. To mark its 120 years of enhancing our community, the Lincoln Women's Club partnered with the Lincoln Parks and Recreation Department and the Lincoln Parks Foundation, making possible the recent renovation of the setting in this garden for the Pioneer Woman. We want to thank the Lincoln Women's Club. We also want to thank the Nebraska Statewide Arboretum for their participation, as well as the Lincoln Parks Foundation. Parks and Recreation Department staff were assisted with installation of the garden plants here by about 50 men, women, and children from the Arbor Day Foundation. Replacement of the asphalt trail that is just to the north of us here has been completed, and it ties into the overall enhancements that have been completed or that are being completed in this portion of Antelope Park. Today we're pleased to partner in the planting of 4 kinds of milkweed provided us by Randall Gilbert, and we'll hear from Randall here in just a little bit. From Save Our Monarchs Foundation, we appreciate this gift of more than 400 milkweed plugs they have provided to the department. In addition to our plantings here today at the Pioneer Woman in Antelope Park, milkweed has and will be planted in Woods Park, the Rotary Strolling Garden in the Antelope Park Triangle, Lakeview Park, and Union Plaza. Projects like this one at the Pioneer Woman emphasize the importance of partnerships between public and private organizations. This project is also an example of Lincoln Parks and Recreation's continuing commitment to plant native plants in our public landscapes, celebrating our prairie heritage and supporting native pollinators. Now, this work of planting and establishing pollinators is really done by a lot of very passionate people, and I want to single out one of those this morning. One of our park planners, Mark Canny, was involved in planting this garden. Mark has also been involved in several volunteer projects throughout the system this spring of planting trees and pollinator gardens throughout the parks, and we very much appreciate that work. We integrate outdoor education in our youth recreation programming, and as the mayor said, we are joined this morning by participants from our summer day camp program at Irving and Calvert Recreation Centers. And in just a little bit, we're going to get these students involved in planting the last of the butterfly milkweed in front of the Pioneer Woman here. We'll get Randall involved in that as well. And then these students are going to be involved in planting milkweed throughout another areas of Antelope Park here in just a second. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Randall Gilbert from Save Our Monarchs.
Good morning. I just have a few comments here. I think the mayor and Lynn said everything. I want to thank these kids for coming out here to help us with this really important project. I'm with the Save Our Monarchs Foundation. We work throughout North America on this important issue. We're just a group of concerned citizen scientists who care, who wanted to act, knew there was a problem with these pollinator populations, and wanted to do what we could to help. We're really proud to partner with Lincoln and really want to applaud these efforts that the city's making. What motivates our work are biodiversity and ecosystem health. So when we can create these kind of productive relationships with insects, pollinators, and plants like we're doing here and throughout Lincoln, these are the relationships that really contribute to our life as humans as well. One of our favorite entomologists, E.O. Wilson, said, "A world without insects is a world without biodiversity, and a world without biodiversity is a world without humans." And so when we create these kind of relationships, we educate the children and let them know what we're doing and why, so that they can carry this work on in the future when it's their turn, are just vital to our community and the healthy relationships that we have, what it takes for us to succeed as a species as well. So again, we just really want to applaud the city for these efforts and the kids, all the volunteers who've been coming out. It looks beautiful. It's a splash of color everywhere you look. And it's just vital for us as a community in this nearly invisible ecosystem that we really don't appreciate all the time, that's always working in the background to help us out with our own lives. So thank you so much to the city, and we're just really proud of this partnership.
Those roots a little bit so that the roots will move out of that soil ball just a little bit.
We want it to be really firm around here so it doesn't dry up.
Well, let's go into the segment on Streets Alive. This will be the 7th annual Streets Alive event. Free outdoor movement festival, as you all know. It's now set for the afternoon of Sunday, September 10th. And this time around, it'll be in the Belmont neighborhood, just north a ways from the downtown. Streets Alive is produced and organized by Partnership for Healthy Lincoln, and I'd like to invite Michael Thompson to come on up here with me. He's the soon-to-be board chairman, as I understand it, of the organization. Yes. Let me say a couple more things, Michael, and we'll just turn it over to you. But getting our families outside, as you all can appreciate, whether it's gardening or playing a game or just taking a walk, is extremely important for all members of the family. About 12 years ago, Richard Louv caused an international sensation with his book, Last Child in the Woods, Saving Our Children from Nature Deficit Disorder. He wrote, "Time in nature is not leisure time. It's an essential investment in our children's health and also, by the way, in our own health." That's what events like Streets Alive are all about. They demonstrate our city's commitment to healthy lifestyles. That commitment is a big reason why Lincoln has earned a Playful City designation for 4 years in a row now. I'm proud that the City of Lincoln is one of the sponsors, along with the Community Health Endowment, a very important organization in our city, and several other organizations are supporting this effort. It's a great afternoon of active fun, and we throw in some health education along the way. It's a community celebration for people of all ages and all mobility levels, for that matter, too. The event is child and pet and wheelchair friendly. Thousands have turned out each year for the event, which includes many community organizations organized around that weekend. Together, we're working to reach Lincoln's Fit by 2020 goal of becoming the healthiest community in the nation. Streets Alive is one way we can move towards our goal of increasing fitness and reducing the obesity epidemic that is affecting the lives of far too many in our community and in our state and in the nation. We know that being fit and making healthy eating choices has countless benefits. Healthy kids do better academically, less resources are needed to take care of those who have chronic disease. Healthy employees mean employers face lower health costs and higher productivity. So if Streets Alive gets just a few more individuals or a few more families to make improvements that improve their lives and their health, that's what it's all about. And with that, Michael, I'll leave the rest of it to you to tell us more about it.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. How are you? Is it morning or is it afternoon? We'll just say more noon. Okay. All right. Thank you again. Thank you, Mayor Beitler. It's an honor, and we are so pleased to be included in your news conference today. Our goal at Partnership for a Healthy Lincoln is to help Lincoln and Lancaster County residents live longer, healthier lives. Like most communities in the nation, we are faced with an epidemic of obesity and poor fitness, but our city has a goal of making our community fit by 2020. Streets Alive is just one effort on our journey to becoming the healthiest community in the nation by engaging in neighborhoods and free active family fun, entertainment, and healthy resources. Streets Alive is an outdoor movement festival that lets people literally play in the streets. Yes, literally play in the streets. It encourages people to get off the couch and get moving. The event is a child, pet, and wheelchair-friendly event where visitors can bike, they can skate, they can walk, they can stroll, they can dance, any kind of human-powered traffic, or even dance their way through a route filled with exhibitors and entertainers. Streets Alive provides an opportunity for Lincolnites, of all ages, backgrounds, and experiences to access free and useful information. The event offers over 100 diverse exhibitors that provide a wide variety of health, wellness, and fitness opportunities, plus a variety of entertainment such as music, dance, theater, and more throughout the festival. Something for everyone. Streets Live also celebrates neighborhoods. We're excited to have the Belmont neighborhood host this year's event, welcoming the whole city this year to explore some of the many highlights in their area. And that's including Belmont and Max E. Roper Parks, Belmont Elementary School, Educare, Belmont Recreation Center, and Belmont Community Center. Streets Alive is working to support community development and strengthen neighborhoods by including a community development project that will improve access and create opportunities for outdoor shelter, would encourage residents to utilize the park and provide the school and recreation center with an interactive outdoor session, classroom. The construction process will begin May 2018 and will be showcased at the 2018 Streets Alive event. We would like to thank our multiple community partners, volunteers, and generous sponsors that make this event possible. And that's including platinum sponsors of Community Health Endowment and City of Lincoln, CHI Health, St. Elizabeth, and Bryan Health, and then to our gold media sponsor, KLKN Channel 8. I hope you all would join us at the 2017 Streets Alive on Sunday, September 10th. Thank you, and it's an honor to be a part of your press conference again. Thank you, Mayor.
Michael, thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. We're going to rely upon you for the dancing part, though, not me. In any event, let's move on to the event that the weather reminds us about each year, the 4th of July. Always a popular city celebration in this city that gets families outdoors once again for a day. And we're talking about the annual Uncle Sam Jam Independence Day celebration. Everybody is invited to head to Oak Lake Park, and it will be on Monday, July 3rd this year. The City Parks and Recreation Department, again, will provide free family activities such as canoeing and disc golf and horseshoes, along with other games beginning at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Carnival games, archery, and other great activities continue throughout the afternoon and into the early evening. This year's pre-fireworks concert features the return of Soul Dog. It's a kind of a funky and groovy sound that last year at least had a lot of people dancing. At 10 p.m., J&M Displays will present a spectacular fireworks display sponsored by Pepsi-Cola. The show will again be set to music provided by NRG Media Broadcast House and aired on its 4 radio stations. We also want to thank the Lincoln Journal-Star for its support of the celebration. Food and concessions will be available all day long. You'll find ample parking, of course, at Oak Lake Park. The Pinnacle Bank Arena festival space is used, also Haymarket Park, and of course in the Haymarket and Marketplace garages. Again, as in past years, StarTran will provide free public shuttle bus service from several locations to the park. The public is encouraged, as always, to arrive early to avoid traffic delays. Expect to have a beautiful day, of course, but if we do happen to have bad weather, many of the activities will take place on Wednesday, July 5th. For all the details, you can check it out on the city website, the special event website at lincoln.ne.gov, keyword Uncle Sam Jam. As we approach the July 4th holiday, we also want to remind everybody that the city ordinance allows the sale and use of permissible fireworks in the city only from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. on July 3rd and from 8 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. On July 4th of each year. Fireworks other than the ones used by the professionals are not allowed, incidentally, at Oak Lake Park on the night of the celebration. So, with that, why don't I take questions on any of the three events, I suppose, that we just described to you. I suspect you have plenty of material here, though. Good luck. Good to go?
I do want to ask one quick question. How do you think these events are going to impact the Lincoln summer economic development and stuff?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How do you expect the events to impact economic development in the city?
These three events? Well, it's it's hard to separate out the three events. Uncle Sam Jam is, I think, the one that would likely have the greatest impact. I can't help you much with that, though, in the sense that I don't have statistics of where all the people come from. By and large, the people are Lincoln people. But sometimes, as you know, there are big family celebrations, and families in Lincoln bring in all their relatives from other places. So I imagine it does have some economic impact. But these are probably not the events upon which we celebrate for their economic impact, for the most part. Yeah.